Hello and welcome to this week's harmonica lesson. So this week's harmonica lesson is a little bit different because I'm going to be showing you how to do some basic reed adjustments to your harmonica if you want to play overblows. So this continues from last week's lesson about how to get started playing overblows. So before I show you how to do this, I have a very important disclaimer. Don't practice this on your brand new super fancy harmonica. You potentially are going to break it. So I suggest that you practice doing this on an old harmonica that you don't care about too much. I'm not going to take any responsibility for you breaking your harmonica because they are quite fragile things, and I have broken a few over the years trying to fix them up. But it is worthwhile learning how to do this kind of thing. If you are really too scared to do this, that's totally fine. I feel that that's a normal thing. You know, you can always get a custom harmonica from Andrew Zajac or from Cain. Those are great things to check out. But if you want to have a go, let's dive in. So I have a Suzuki Olive here that the 4 overblow is sounding a little bit unhappy. Can you hear that? It doesn't really pop as much as I want it to. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take the cover plates off. Unscrewing here. I actually only had one screw in so that it was quicker. I put them in a tin here so that we don't lose our screws. So the first thing to do is to just have a little play test to see what needs to be adjusted. So I'm going to isolate the blow reed. So to do this, I'm going to put my thumb on the draw reed. So count up on the bottom plate, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the draw reed is muted. And I'm going to try playing an overblow. I'm going to try play a blow bend and mute that blow reed. So that sounds pretty okay. So I might leave that for now, and I'm going to see what the 4 draw reed is like. So I'm going to mute the blow reed, and I'm going to try playing an overblow on the 4. So that sounds okay. So by themselves, they sound okay. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the gaps a little bit tighter just so that they initiate a little bit more easily. So to do this, I'm going to unscrew everything. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to take the blow plate, so that was the top plate, and I'm going to use French tuner here. So this is a Zajac tool. Basically, it means that I don't have to put the harmonica back together to test the reed out, but you can test the reed out by itself, no problem, if you don't have one of these. So I just clip this on here, and I'm going to try playing the 4 blow bend. So it mutes okay, but it takes quite a while to mute. So there's quite a big bend before it mutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close the gap a little bit. So I'm going to use this brass tool from Zajac, and I'm just going to apply a bit of pressure at the reed end to make the gap a little bit tighter. Just a little bit. So if you can see there, this reed is now really flush with the harmonica. So if I try and plink it, I can't get the plinker underneath it. So that means it's too tight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the reed tool and push up from underneath. And the most important thing is making sure that we retain a curve with the reed, otherwise it won't kind of start playing. So I'm just pushing up to kind of counteract that action that I did. And I'm going to try with the plinker. I'm going to see if I can get it under. I'm going to check that it still vibrates okay. So I've increased the gap a little bit, but I've made sure that there's still a nice curve to the reed. So I'm going to test that again. So that mutes a little bit quicker. So I'm going to do the same thing on the draw reed now. I'm going to test that that's okay. So I'm going to use the 4 draw reed, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to use the French tuner again. So overblow's okay. Could do with it being a little bit quicker, so I'm going to increase that gap as well. So I'm going to decrease that gap, make it a little bit tighter. So same kind of thing, I'm going to put a little bit of pressure at the reed end just to tighten up the gap. And then I'm going to check that we can still get the plinker under at the other end and make sure it's still got a nice bit of curve to it. Okay, so let's try that again. So that pops out really nicely. So that feels pretty good. One thing that I do want to check, I want to check that I can still do a normal draw bend on that. I can, in fact, just a normal clean draw. That sounds fine. I'm going to do the same on the 4-blow. So let's just test that out, just the blow by itself. That sounds fine as well. So let's just try putting the comb back in. I'm just Okay, so let's have a listen to that 4 overblow. Okay, so clearly it pops out much more easily. So what I suggest you do is try this out on a harmonica that you don't care about too much and see how you get on. And remember, keep adjusting and testing, adjust and test, adjust and test. I went through this really quickly today, but I would do lots of little tweaks and test it using what I showed you. And if you want to delve deeper into this, Andrew Zajac actually has a whole bunch of really useful videos about how to do these tweaks on your harmonica, which I'm going to link to in the description below. And now you can do something for me. You can hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And don't miss out on next week's harmonica lesson, where I'm going to show you some overblow licks that you can play now that you can play overblows. Thank you very much.